I want to ask you something very directly, a question that I believe touches every single one of us, perhaps more deeply and more painfully than any other. Have you ever seriously considered what it means to be hurt? I am not speaking of the physical body, the shock of a broken bone or a cut, but rather that inward psychological pain, that deep wound which we carry with us, often from our earliest childhood. We are all hurt, are we not? From our very first days in the family, at school, in college, and throughout the whole business of existence. We are wounded. Our parents, perhaps with the best intentions, compare us to a sibling. We go to school and we are measured, graded, and told we must be as clever as someone else, as successful as our uncle or a classmate. We enter the world, and if we fail to get the job, if we don't meet the standards of a society obsessed with success, we are deeply, profoundly hurt. Our entire education, our whole social structure, seems almost perfectly engineered to create this wound and to keep it open. Now, I ask you to look at this with me, not as an abstract idea, but as an actuality in your own life. Do you see that you are hurt? And if you do, what is it that is actually being hurt? When you say, I am hurt, what is the I that is wounded? Is it not the image, the picture, the conclusion, the idea you have built about yourself? Think about it. You create a profile on social media, a carefully curated image of who you are, witty, successful, happy, attractive, politically astute, and then someone leaves a comment that is critical, that attacks this image, and you feel that immediate sting, that sharp, familiar pain. Is it you who is hurt? Or is it the picture you have so carefully presented to the world and to yourself? We build these images because we are frightened. We are terribly lonely. We crave security in a world that offers nothing permanent. So I build an image of myself as a good person, an important man, a serious woman, a patriot, a Christian, a Hindu, a Buddhist, or an atheist. I am proud of my accomplishments. I am ashamed of my failures. This entire bundle of memories, conclusions, labels, and experiences, that is the I, and that is what gets hurt. Many of us, seeing the inadequacy of these crude images, then try to create a superior one. We say, but I am not that. Deep inside me, there is something more, something permanent, a higher self, a soul, an Atman, a divine spark that is above all this. But I ask you to look again with rigor. Is this not also a creation of thought? Is this not thought still seeking security, still seeking to escape pain, projecting a new image, a spiritual image, which is defined by its very nature as being above all hurt? But this, too, is a conclusion, another fortress built by the mind, and anything built by thought can be threatened by thought. The process of thought is the process of image making, and therefore it is the very process that creates the vulnerability to being hurt. So we find ourselves with this collection of past hurts, like stones we carry in a bag, and our primary concern becomes how to prevent future hurts. And how do we attempt this? We resist. We build walls. We withdraw. We become cynical, hard, isolated. We say, I will not let anyone in again because to be vulnerable is to risk this terrible pain. But do you see the tragic trap in this? The more you build a wall around yourself, the more you are inwardly separate, and the more brittle and hypersensitive you become, a prisoner inside the very fortress you built for your own protection. This leads to a very serious and perhaps uncomfortable question. You must ask this of yourself with total honesty. Do you actually want to be free of your hurts? Or do you perhaps love your hurts? No, please, do not dismiss this lightly. Look at it. Is there not a strange, dark pleasure in keeping them, a kind of vitality? When you hold on to the memory of how someone has wronged you, does it not give you a sense of energy, a justification? The energy of resentment, of self-pity, of I will show them. It gives us a sense of identity. And most terribly, it gives us the energy to hurt somebody else. We see this every single day. The person who was hurt becomes the hurter. It is a dreadful chain of misery passed from one generation to the next. So I ask again, do you really want to be free of all hurts? What would it mean to have a mind that is, under any circumstances, in your relationship with your partner, your children, or the world, simply incapable of being hurt? This does not mean you become a stone, a callous, indifferent being. On the contrary, perhaps only such a mind that is not protecting itself, can know what love is. A mind that is incapable of being hurt is also, you see, incapable of being flattered. Flattery is just the other side of the same coin. Hurt is when someone attacks the image you hold of yourself. Flattery is when someone confirms and validates that very same image. Both depend entirely on the existence of that image. So, is it possible to end this entire structure of being hurt? Do you want to find out? Not just listen to my words, not just collect new ideas and theories that is utterly useless, a form of entertainment. Do you actually want to do it? Because if you do, if you put in the work to see this for yourself, then you are free. And it is only from that freedom, not from your wounds, that goodness can flower. So let's go into this together, not as a theoretical exercise, but as an urgent personal investigation. We have seen that the thing that is hurt is the image, the picture I have of myself, which is nothing more than a collection of memories, conclusions, and labels built by thought for its own security. The fact is, as long as I have an image about myself, any image, that image is going to be hurt because it will inevitably encounter a world that contradicts it. This is perfectly clear, is it not? If I think I am intelligent, I will be hurt when someone shows me I have acted foolishly. If I think I am virtuous, I will be in agony if someone exposes my hypocrisy. The image and the vulnerability are the same thing. So, the real question, the only question that matters becomes, is it possible for you and me to live in this world without a single image about ourselves? This means to live without conclusions which are just static images of the past. It means living without prejudice, without identifying as an American or a Chinese, a Catholic or a Muslim, a success or a failure. All these are images, and they are the root of all conflict, both inward and outward. Now, let's look at the precise moment this hurt takes place. You insult me. You say something that is contrary to the image I cherish about myself. At that precise second, what happens? My normal conditioned reaction is one of immediate inattention. I am not actually listening to what you are saying. Instead, my mind is already in motion, defending itself, building a wall, preparing a counterattack, or withdrawing into self pity. This instantaneous, mechanical reaction is the inattention, and in that moment of inattention, the hurt is registered. The wound is recorded in memory. The mind says, this person hurt me. That was painful. I must either avoid them or I must fight them, and I will not forget this. This registration is the hurt. It is only when there is this lack of full awareness, this immediate identification with the image, that the registration of hurt, or for that matter, flattery, can even happen. So, what is the alternative? At that very moment, that very instant, when you are saying something harmful or hurtful or even something flattering, can I give my total attention to what you are saying? I mean, complete, unwavering attention, a listening that is not comparing, not judging, not resisting. When you say, you are a fool, can I, at that moment, give my total attention to that statement? This doesn't mean I agree. It means I observe the words, I observe the feeling of anger or fear that arises in me, but I do not identify with it. I do not become the anger. I am simply the vast, silent space of awareness in which the words and the feeling appear and disappear. If you can do this, if you can meet the insult or the flattery with this total passive and therefore immensely powerful attention, something extraordinary happens. There is no registration. The insult finds no image to stick to, no me to wound. It is like a flame that consumes the words as they arrive. There is no residue, no memory, no hurt. It is finished in that instant. This attention is the flame that burns out the hurt. And what is so profound is that this same flame not only incinerates the present hurt, but it also burns away the past hurts. How? Because the past hurts are not living things. They are ghosts. They are memories that are held in place by the very same structure, the very same I that gets hurt in the present. They only have power because you keep identifying with them. You keep replaying them, feeding them with your current thought, your current self-pity. When you, through this deep, attentive observation in the now, see the whole nature of the image maker, when you see how the eye is constructed and how it reacts, you are no longer caught in it. You have stepped out of the prison. The past hurts are seen for what they are, just memories, old recordings in the brain. But the emotional charge is gone because the me they were attached to is seen to be an illusion. You see, the attention itself is the dissolution of the image. This is the real challenge. Can you live this way? Can you, when your boss criticizes you, or your partner says something unkind, or someone on the internet leaves a hateful comment, can you give your complete attention to that and to your own inward reaction without letting the image take over. It means to live without a conclusion, without a me that is constantly being defined, defended, and asserted. It means to die every day to the me of yesterday, so that your mind is fresh, new, and therefore innocent, incapable of being wounded. This is not a complex philosophical system. It is the act of pure, simple, and extraordinarily difficult observation from moment to moment. If these reflections resonated with you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more inquiries into the nature of our minds.